Vilayat Dagestan, formerly known as Shariat Jamaat, is an Islamist jihadist group based in the Russian Republic of Dagestan and is part of the Caucasus Emirate. The group, created during the Second Chechen War in favor of Dagestan's independence as an Islamic state, is responsible for the deaths of hundreds of Russian security and military personnel, officials, and civilians. The group is closely associated with the separatist conflicts in the nearby Russian republics of Chechnya and Ingushetia. The Jamaat Shariat claims to be legitimate authority of Dagestan with the aim of establishing a fair society based on sharia law. To achieve this end, the Jamaat considers it legitimate to target police and security officials and some civilians such as the government loyalist Muslim clergy and clerics of the Russian Orthodox Church. The Jamaat says that peace talks with Russia are hypothetically possible, but only when Russia withdraws its troops from the region and provides security guarantees. Otherwise, the group claims, it is prepared for a long-term guerrilla war of attrition that may be broadened to encompass the whole of the Russian Federation, including Moscow and St. Petersburg. As of 2010, the ongoing violence has plunged the multi-ethnic and corruption and poverty-plagued republic into near civil war. History. Shariat Jamaat was established by Emir Rasul following the near destruction of the much smaller Dagestani terrorist group called Jennat. In 1999, Sharipov fought against the government during the abortive rebel invasion of Dagestan from Chechnya. After moving to fight in Chechnya, he went back to his homeland in 2002 and set up Jennat, whose principal objective was to eliminate senior officers of the security forces in Dagestan. The group was loyal to the Chechen commander Shamal Bashayev, and its center of operations was the republic's capital of Makakala along with the nearby Takitau mountain. The insurgents managed to assassinate several important figures such as Kamal Etenbekov, the Federal Security Service's territorial head of counterintelligence and counterterrorism, Akbar Alavakilov, head of the police department for the struggle against extremism and criminal terrorism, and 28 officers of his department, and Magomed Gusayev, the Minister of National Policy, Information, and External Relations. The 2002 Kaspisk bombing, in which 43 soldiers and civilians were killed at a military parade, was also blamed on Sharipov, although he rejected any responsibility and instead blamed the FSB director Nikolai Patrushev. The official Russian state media and its branches in Dagestan officially claimed that the bombing was organized by Rabbani Khalil. It was long after Rabbani Khalil rejected responsibility and blamed instead head of Republic of Dagestan in one of his popular videos clarifying situation around him and militants in North Caucasus with historical pretext. Apparently the motives of the head of Republic of Dagestan was to discredit and blacken the image of Muslim militants that gained quite a popularity among the local population. However, there was no response to this claim of Rabbani Khalil from the then head of Dagestan, Magomed Ali Magomedov. Shariat Jamaat, following the loss of several of its key leaders in late 2004, remnants of Jennat were reorganized and transformed into Shariat Jamaat. The new group, much larger and more decentralized, is loosely organized mostly into many small clandestine urban cells, some with only 3 to 5 people, with a particularly strong presence in Makakala. The Jamaat also maintains several larger guerrilla subunits of up to 15 fighters each, which are based in the forested and mountainous areas of Dagestan and occasionally engage in relatively large battles against Russian special forces backed by artillery and air support. The new group gradually became less discriminating in their attacks, targeting even rank-and-file traffic police officers, and killing more than 40 policemen in the first half-year of 2005. In May 2005 it became part of the umbrella organization Caucasian Front, established by the new president of the Chechen Republic of Ichkeria, Sheikh Abdul Halim, following the death of his predecessor Aslan Maskhadov. The group is believed to be responsible for many high-profile attacks such as the bombing which killed more than 10 Russian Special Forces soldiers in Makhachkala and the assassination of the Republic's Deputy Interior Minister, General Magomed Omarov in 2005. Makar Sharipov was killed during a shootout with Russian troops on 6 July 2005, and his deputy Rabbani then took over command. Rabbani was said to be extremely popular with the youth and was able to recruit hundreds of fighters into Jamaat's ranks. He was closely allied with the Chechen rebels and the commander of foreign fighters in the Caucasus, Abu Haf Sal-Urduni, and was killed in a house siege by the Russian Special Forces on 17 September 2007. Vilayat Dagestan. With the statements of the new Chechen separatist leader Dr. Umarov published by Caucasus Center on 1 October 2007, Khalilov was replaced by his deputy Abdul Majid. Majid had begun his career during the Second Chechen War, fighting under Maskhadov and Ibn al-Khattab. Before joining the Jamaat in 2005, this helped legitimize him as a rebel leader in Dagestan with the leaderships of both Chechen rebels and foreign fighters. Abdul Majid took the Jamaat oath to not attack civilians and was credited with bringing order to the group after the death of Khalilov. On 8 September 2008, he was killed in a battle in southern Dagestan on the border with Azerbaijan in a joint operation of Russian and his area special forces. Following the death of Abu Majid, Umarov appointed Emir Muaz to lead the renamed Vilayat of Dagestan. Emir Muaz was killed on 5 February 2009 in a gunfight with Russian special forces in a suburb of Makhachkala. He was replaced 2 months later by Emir Bara, who was in turn killed in a shootout at a police checkpoint in Makhachkala on 31 December 2009. His place was then taken by Magomed Vagab, whose leadership apparently resulted in the end to the ban on indiscriminate attacks against civilian targets. The Vagabov was killed in a firefight when the federal forces surrounded him a house in the village of Gunib on 21 August 2010. The continued upsurge of violence in Dagestan since 2008 included the killing of Gen. Valery Lipinski, the first deputy head of the internal troops in the North Caucasus, the sniper assassination of Dagestan's interior minister, Gen. Adiljaray Magomed Tajarov, and the massacre of 4 policemen and 7 alleged prostitutes at a bathhouse in Makhachkala. In 2009, at least 58 police officers were killed in Dagestan. The Vilayat Dagestan was responsible for a suicide attack on 6 January 2010 that killed 6 policemen, twin bombings in which 2 female bombers killed more than 40 people in the Moscow metro in March 2010, and several suicide attacks against Russian security and military installations. In February 2012, the Vilayat's then leader, Ibrahim Khalil Dordov, was killed by Russian security forces. In December 2014, the Vilayat's then commander, Rustam Isildarov, and a number of other members of the group publicly retracted their oath of allegiance to Caucasus Emirate leader Elias Kebikov, and pledged loyalty to Islamic State leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. Kebikov condemned the defectors and appointed Said Karakansky as the new leader of the group in Dagestan. Karakansky and Kebikov's successor, Magomed Suleimanov, were killed by Russian security forces in clashes in August 2015.